through weakness of body, weakness of will, or weakness of trust. Most of the original members we had chosen for the organization were inadequate.
In Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora has aimed to assemble the 7 Guardians of Light to go up against Xehanort's 13 Seekers of Darkness. Xehanort seems to have his choices pretty much down packed, save for one missing darkness. Now, although some of his choices were revealed in Dream Drop Distance and heavily foreshadowed in the Kingdom Hearts 3 2015 E3 trailer through his chess pieces, some of his choices seem incredibly out of place, giving some reasoning that his nobody Xemnas gave in Dream Drop Distance on choosing certain members from the past organization for the new organization, namely Marluxia and Larxene. You remember those two, right? Numbers 11 and 12 in the original Organization 13, and the antagonists of Chain of Memories, who had the intent of overthrowing the organization, thus branded as traitors set for elimination by Xemnas, Saix, and Axel. So with them being traitors, and Xemnas saying that certain members of the previous Organization 13 were inadequate choices for the new organization due to weakness of trust, it seems very out of the question as to why Xehanort chose these two for his new organization. So with that being said, many fans consider it odd at the very least to have Larxene and Marluxia as part of the new Organization 13. I mean, Marluxia could get a pass due to his revealed importance stemming from Union Cross Azlorium, when there were other more than capable members that were pretty loyal to Xemnas and the cause, such as Xaldin, Lexaeus, Zexion, and Vexen to say the least. But then again, Xemnas also said weakness of body and will are also factors as to why certain members were inadequate, and by that citation I mean the fact that Dylan and Evan are still in a stable state since becoming complete, but that still leaves Alias and Ienzo that would have been great members. So what's the deal? Why would Xehanort choose traitors over them? Well, the answer is in the goal, my friends. Get this. The reason why Xehanort would choose traitors like Marluxia and Larxene over members like Alias and Ienzo is because of one thing: the Keyblade. Think about both sides of the coin. The whole catalyst to the reason why Marluxia wanted to overthrow the organization and why he enlisted Larxene is that he wanted to make the Keyblade's power his own. And Larxene more than likely fell in line with that goal and acted on Marluxia's desire as her own. Now, beyond that, Marluxia's and Larxene's goals don't heavily involve themselves in regaining a heart and becoming whole. In turn, that was the main desire of the other members of the organization, to the point that's the reason why they followed Xemnas to the ends of the earth in that loyalty, when in reality Xemnas and Xigbar knew that was never their true end goal, and that was the main hook to puppeteer many members of the organization and their nobodies. With that in mind, ask yourself, would these specific members that were only following Xemnas in order to become whole continue following this man when that lie was exposed? I don't think so, because as revealed in Dream Drop Distance, the true end goal of the original Organization 13 once they got Kingdom Hearts wasn't to make everyone whole as they thought, but to use it in order to turn every member in the Organization 13 into Xehanort as part of his true master plan to create 13 sufficient darknesses in order to create the Keyblade. Now consider that information and apply it to the likes of Larxene and Marluxia. From what we've known about these two specifically, they weren't really all that interested in regaining their hearts and completing themselves. All they wanted was power to overthrow the organization, and that power was the power of the Keyblade, and I hope you're starting to see where I'm driving at. As incredibly loyal Xigbar is to Xehanort, the main selling point to that loyalty is that becoming a Xehanort vessel, he will be able to acquire a Keyblade. And if the Keyblade was the main thing Larxene and Marluxia were after that was derivative of their quest to overthrow the organization, then wouldn't it be reasonable to assume that if Xehanort were to use this selling point to make them vessels, he would easily be able to sway them? That would easily squash any qualms they originally had with Xehanort and the original organization, and with the promise of the Keyblade, the original thing they desired, Xehanort would easily be able to buy their membership into his new organization, and by making them vessels with his heart, he'll be able to squash any future attempted backstabbing, thanks to his influence. Now for the most part, this consideration is more leaned towards the likes of Larxene and Luxord, who was literally on the bottom of the food chain in the organization, but with the case of Marluxia, his true intentions could still be masked in mystery to the point that he could still be a huge wildcard in Kingdom Hearts 3. But considering there has to be a reason behind why Xehanort would choose those who would betray him over previously loyal members, this enticing of the Keyblade could be a pivotal reason as to how Xehanort could have enticed Marluxia, and at the same time, I still believe there's some sort of massive importance to both Marluxia and Ventus, stemming from their history as Union leaders from the time of Union Cross, something that Xehanort wants to take advantage of. So when it comes to the point of weakness of trust that Xemnas was referring to in Dream Drop Distance, those words can be inferred as a weakness of trust that could be displayed by those who may not have much of an interest in becoming a Xehanort vessel in exchange for a Keyblade, that the likes of Xigbar, Larxene, and Marluxia have incredibly been invested in. All the other members really wanted was to become whole. Now that they have no reason at all to follow Xehanort, but those that want the Keyblade despite their previous betrayals will follow Xehanort to the ends of the earth for a chance to wield that weapon. And that is why Xehanort chose Larxene and Marluxia, the traitors, over certain other members of the organization. Let me know what you think about this theory in the comment section below. And while you're at it, please be sure to like, favorite, share, and most importantly, subscribe to HMK and consider sponsoring me here on YouTube for more Kingdom Hearts videos. Until the next one, I've been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.
So you haven't subscribed to HMK yet? Don't piss Xemnas off.